How many bows did blow up at Foam Fest?
3.
I knew of 2. I don't know who the third was.
Tyler.
But, okay, but Tyler and one of our big winners, I forget his name, but they show up every year.
Pat? He won one. He won the legit, but he needs to maybe swap it because it's too short for his draw length. He's got really long arms.
It wasn't Pat. Pat didn't blow his bow up. His bow was good.
No, it wasn't Pat. Ooh. Yeah, that was wild.
I mean, we're not trying to like break bows at Foam Fest.
No, but it's a good place to break your bow rather than being a tree.
Yeah, that's why we do it. We try to get all the kinks up before hunting season shows up.
Yeah, just when you think you got them all.
Success.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Well, welcome back. Let's let it
rip, Tater Chip.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag. You hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
Let's just get right into it. I'm not going to do the music thing.
Oh, wow.
Greg's here.
Right, let's go.
Quick cheers to Greg.
Let's go.
It's like we only got him so often. We don't need to waste time on that.
No, we don't. Let's enjoy it.
You're good.
It's the Okayest Hunter podcast. We're in Oconomowoc. We got Eric, Derek, and Greg here in studio. The 3
winking, blinking, and nod.
The tripod. I don't know. Is that weird?
Yeah, we are the tripod.
Could make it weird if you wanted to.
One short leg. Sorry, guys.
A typical white guy.
The dangler.
Oh, I put myself into that position.
You totally did.
Heat it up for your
you put the bait out there.
For some reason, Nosler seems to enjoy working with us, and they've decided to be the presenting partner of the show.
God bless them.
God bless them. For this year.
If you love dirty, weird hunt camp jokes and shooting your gun, go check out Nosler Ammo. Just Nosler.com. Use code OHP. Save 20% off on your ammo. You can also save money off on Latitude, which they're dropping products like hotter than a... What's the song? What's that song?
Hotter than a $2 pistol.
Well, no, there's a song. Hotter than a hoochie coochie. Is that the song?
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Okay.
It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
That's it. So
little Alan Jackson.
Yeah, there we go. And like it actually kind of fits a little bit with all their new branding, the Maverick and the Lone Star and the.
It's got that Western twang to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to play with the Lone Star a little bit.
We did.
And the Maverick. Everyone that came to Foam Fest, which we're kind of talking about here, got 6 months free to Spartan Forge, which I have the list. It's going out tonight. I texted Bill. He said, send me the list. So all those people are going to get lit the up with free membership.
That's awesome.
6 months. And Rack Hub, we gave away their RH2, a bunch of their shed season swag, and some other fun stuff from those guys. So hopefully someone's going to have a really beautifully decorated house with, who won that one? I don't remember. There's few folks were winning all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we had some very lucky clusters.
Lucky clusters.
We did. We had very lucky clusters. In fact, half of the Nosler ammo went to one family.
Oh, that family, it was their first time at Foam Fest. If we're talking the family who was in the back corner.
Yeah.
They cleaned house, man.
And come to find out, they don't live far from me either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they live in Watertown, right?
We were chatting, and they weren't far.
Good people.
Not far at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good
Great
time.
People.
It was a very smooth event. Weather was great. It was the best attended or most well attended out of the 3 years so far. And
just
we're not
keeps
trying
growing
to go
a little
for the
bit.
most. We just it little bit by little bit, and I'm happy with that.
Yep.
I'm not trying to overdo it. But the venue, they will not be there next year. They're moving down the road, and they're building a much bigger facility on more land.
Really?
Brand new pole barn style building, but with a bigger bar area, bigger shooting range.
No kidding.
Virtual shooting range, and
a lot of indoor shooting they're
Yes.
going to have now.
Really?
So, yeah, I think they said if you shoot diagonally across,
it's more. It's 60.
I thought she said 60 yards.
Yeah.
Holy
indoor.
cow.
Yeah, they had the blueprints on the back wall where we had all our raffle prizes.
With a second floor shooting.
A mezzanine. Yeah.
Kind of like
mezzanine.
Railtail has.
Yep.
So,
Sounded really
That's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
they don't own the land anymore. They are leasing from that dump next
The
to
landfill.
Landfill.
Yep.
Thank you. It sounds really bad to say. I'm like,
So,
I called them.
Is
And
that owned by the
that's why they started
county?
plowing it all. And everything.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about
So they
that.
got some money when they made that move, and then they bought, and now they're going to develop. Walters Builders is going to be doing it.
Okay.
From what I saw. So
Okay.
hopefully it's all done in time. And yeah, if we do it again next year and do it there next year, hopefully all goes just as great. And there might be room for more capacity and maybe some cell reception.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I tell you
I don't
what,
know.
it is just a down home Midwestern event.
Yeah.
If you ask me, like, there's a bunch of other events going on. I know some friends who went to some of the bigger name,
Sure.
more uppity, you know what I mean? Like cool events, and got a little bit of a vibe from some of those. But I think if you come to Foam Fest, it's donuts and lunch and buddies and beers and just fun. It was just fun. It was a great group of people.
Again, not better, just different. And I think this particular version of different is just right on the money for what we say we are. I mean, the fact that you do the kids shed hunt is really quite special. There were more kids there this year than any other year. It was a whole herd of them just going gonzo looking for sheds.
This was the first year that we had 23 sheds out, and the kids found every single one.
Did we find the last one, or do we not know we hit the last one?
We're pretty sure we found it.
By then it turns into a real shed hunt. So.
If anyone goes to the Horicon Marsh Bowman Archers Club, you may find a shed.
Oh, really?
The numbers say there's one out there, but I don't think there is. I don't know.
That's funny.
Okay.
Darn good time. Then there's a coloring contest. I mean, it was good all around. And people were shooting out of saddles and
a little bit.
Bows.
Not as much as we had in years past.
We had some of the there were some guys from, I think they're Geared Up North. Is there?
Yes.
The humans that run that account, the people have been following us for a long time, but that account itself is new, that brand or whatever they're doing. And they were putting on one stick demonstrations. I've never seen a one stick.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
It's pretty wild.
I wanted to, but did you see it?
I saw part of it, from a distance. I was helping with some of the kids' stuff over there, and
what I see is if you like being minimalistic and you have very strong upper body strength and want to test your strength every time you do the one stick method, that is the way to go for you. However, if you're okay and you like to drink Busch Light
and have a donut or two
and have a donut or two in the morning, that is not the method for you.
Yeah. Well, to each his own.
That's right.
For some, and probably detrimental to others. But thanks for listening to the podcast, and for anyone that is listening that was also at the event, thank you so much for coming to the event and hanging out with us. It's pretty special to just see everybody. And a lot of folks are like, I've been here before. I listened to the show. And some people, no, I've never heard the podcast. A friend invited me. There was a podcast. Like, so a little bit of a mixed bag, and just good to see people before we all head off into the deer woods or the elk woods or wherever you're going. Mule deer woods, all of it. And then we launched our Okayest Hunter show over the weekend on, what day was it? Sunday morning.
Yep, the first.
Maybe not the best weekend to do that, considering it's a holiday weekend and the weather was beautiful. I don't think people want to be inside watching.
No, but it's something you can put on at night after you put the kids down.
Yeah. But 3 episodes are live. We're going to try to do 3 a week if I can keep up to that pace to get everything put out for this particular month in September. So just, check out Carbon TV. Follow us there or on YouTube. It's very accessible, very free. You don't have to have the Pursuit channel or the Sportsman channel or a cable package. You can just go watch it.
How many episodes are we looking at here?
I think there's 14 episodes.
Ooh.
Wow. You got that much material, eh?
That's pretty good for us not killing shit.
No.
We might have just stretched it out too long.
Me missing.
Didn't you kill? You killed some.
Not with the bow. I missed.
Oh, okay.
I shot a doe.
Yeah, you got a doe.
I
was trying to get a doe.
That was on camera-ish.
I had visions of tenderloins dancing in my head, but it didn't come to fruition with the bow.
That's tricky.
Rifle was a different story.
You tend to stack them, Greg.
Well.
One Mr. One Shot, One Kill over here. Nosler's poster boy.
Speaking of Nosler, we need to get shooting.
Yeah.
I know you're probably good, but I need to get shooting for our hunt.
No, I would still prefer, but we're going to have to shoot again once we get there because they're not going to make it there unscathed.
We got your plane tickets for Oregon. It's
now we just got to get our TSA stuff taken care of.
Yes, make sure with the airline, the check-in. I've never flown with a gun before. So.
Me either, but I think I'm going to have to probably upgrade cases because mine is not great. So,
if anybody's got any tips for us, let us know. We're going to bring our guest in because he's been hanging out for 11 minutes. So we do have a guest. We got Tyler Webster with us from the Birds. Sorry, I was going to say Birds and Bees. Birds, Booze, and Buds podcast, which we got booze on that list.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're sipping the syrup.
Hey, Tyler.
How's it going, guys? Just a pro tip. I have flown with a gun, and make sure you get a good Pelican case. Like they're very fussy about, you have to have locks, they have to have the keys for it, all that kind of stuff. It's not a lot of fun. That's why I just drive everywhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
We
can
would
see that.
consider that road trip. However, Derek and I would be stopping and looking at other places to hunt and explore.
I
on
think
the
we'd
way.
have about 6 hours to hunt before we turned around and came back. By the time, but that is a good tip. I heard some rumblings talking with people at Foam Fest about you can't use locks that like the TSA locks that they have access to.
Yeah.
Cannot use those. They have to be like personal master locks.
Yep.
That only you have a key to. So thank you for that tip.
Oh,
Yep.
like they don't want to get in there at all.
You can't have anyone.
No,
at
you
the airline,
you don't
get
want anybody getting in there. Period.
Well, right, but I'm just surprised like they wouldn't want to like search the.
Nope.
Send it through the X-ray.
That's what they have X-ray
Then they
machines
make you
for.
open it if they find something. Sir, I need you to. Sir.
And the other thing is make sure that the ammo, like they're gonna count your ammo.
Right.
Like bring a full box.
Yep.
Nothing in the magazine, certainly nothing in the barrel. They get real grumpy about such things.
Gee, I wonder why.
Do they count on the way back? Like, hey, you left with 20. You've got one left. What happened?
Yeah, and if
out
you check
there?
my carry-on, there's part of a body in there.
You have no additional baggage. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, it was a tough trip.
It was a long trip.
Do I need to send you guys that cooler that I have, that half rack?
That'll be an experiment and a half.
Because you can travel with a carry-on. You can put a dead animal in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the, it depends on what you're flying. Like where we're going to be flying, we'll have the space for that for a carry-on to fit it. But some of the flights I got to
what do they
take for
do when
work,
they
man.
X-ray that? Like, did you kill
Pretty
someone?
rough.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
I should have packed in a backpack. Seriously.
You should have seen it when we were coming. We road tripped all the way up to Alaska and to go hunt ptarmigan, which was not. If you have the option to go ahead and do that, go chase something else. It's not worth the drive to go shoot ptarmigan.
Okay.
But going across international borders from the U.S. to Canada, Alaska to Canada, and Canada back into the U.S. The only place we had any problems was coming from Canada back into the U.S. Because we were going through the checkpoint out by Seattle. And we were there for about 6 hours. We were pulling an enclosed trailer with a deep freeze in it because we had visions of bringing back so much wild game that we would need a deep freeze. Which, I mean, we went fishing, so we did have some stuff in there, but they counted each individual bullet and compared it to what we declared when we went across the first time. It was a nightmare. It was such a pain in the ass.
Wow. I was going to ask how many ptarmigan you can fit in a carry-on. You've already been grilled enough about that, so I'll let that rest.
Well, that's why we drove. I mean, we drove up there the whole way because that way we couldn't, we wanted to take our guns with. And I wanted to take my dogs with. Like I got the dog that's laying down by my feet right now. He's going to be 11 here soon, and I've shot every species of bird in North America over him except for one. And that we're going to check that off in November. But so I wanted the dog to go with on the trip as well. It's not as much fun for me to go up and hunt with somebody else's dogs. So instead of flying the dogs and all of our gear and then getting everything back, it's like, well, let's just drive. So 56 hours each way we drove.
Oh,
wow.
My gosh.
Good time. Jeez, 56 hours. I've done 10 hours.
But you saw some countryside.
And that's leaving from North Dakota.
That's leaving from North Dakota. Exactly.
Kind of almost a little bit close.
I mean, you're closer than we are, that's for sure. But it's still.
Like my trip was actually longer. I flew from North Dakota to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and met up with one of my buddies who was making the trip with me.
Okay.
So I drove with him out of Michigan. We came back to my place here in North Dakota. We went fishing for a couple days, and then we took off from here. So like 56 hours plus another 18 from here to Grand Rapids. It was we were gone for 6 weeks.
Just some driving that I look forward. So Tyler, tell us about your podcast. Set the tone here for folks listening in.
Sure. So I started my podcast 7 years ago, I think. It's basically it's mostly based around upland bird hunting, more so than anything else. Although I do get into some predator stuff, I get into some turkey stuff, I get into some deer hunting stuff, trapping, whatever. But it was kind of meant to just kind of be a diary of who I'm hunting with, what we're doing, fishing, whatever the case may be. Like most of us, I'm just a straight up outdoorsman. I love bird hunting probably the most, but I also have my guide's license for fishing. I fish walleyes a lot here in North Dakota, chase deer, chase predators, whatever. And it's just kind of that living diary of all these different places and people that I get out and actually spend time in the field with. And I probably spend between 130 and 145 days. I think that my most was 150 days hunting in a season, and go everywhere from, in the same year we drove from here to Alaska to Oregon, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, and then I ended my season about 100 yards off the Mexican border in Arizona.
Wow.
What's that song? I've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man, shooting every bird out of the air, man.
What do you do for a living? I mean, just because I can't imagine some folks might ask, but what do you do for a living that you're podcasting and hunting?
Yeah, right. So I've 10 years ago, well, for my entire, I got a business major and a psychology minor. So that basically meant that I could be a guidance teacher or a bartender. So I chose bartender for a long time. And I was a bar manager in a little town, Minot, North Dakota, where I grew up. And then I turned 30, and it's like I went through a little mini midlife crisis, and I found out that here in the West, there's rural mail contracts for the USPS. Literally bid on them. You get the contract, you get it for 6 years, you can renew it forever. I got my first one 10 years ago, and I've got 2 more since. And now I got 6 people that work for me full time running the mail contracts. And so basically I get to screw off and go bird hunting and fishing all the time. That's basically all that I do. And the mail contracts kind of pay for the bills, and the podcast pays for the fun stuff. So it's pretty good.
Somebody figured it out. We still haven't.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just in a hamster wheel.
I spent my entire life trying to figure out how to make the most amount of money by doing the least amount of work, and I got it. I can't do better than this.
Hey Siri, how do I make the most amount of money? So get a mail contract.
Siri, download every Birds, Booze, and Buds podcast. We need some tips here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do better than this. I think last year, in the calendar year of 2023, I worked 14 days. Actually worked. Now there's some, payroll and some stress that comes with that, but very, very minor compared to what most people have.
Well, fantastic.
Eric, your eyes are fuming behind.
Yeah, like
minimal stress. What is that?
I'm living the dream. It's okay. I'm where I
you
want
were
to be.
born
living
in
the dream, one
stress.
nightmare at a time.
Yeah, I rev. I like rev at probably 7,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say idle 7,500.
Yeah, idle. Yeah, like I idle where most people redline.
There's a reason why my resting heart rate's like 53. I mean, like I get 9 hours of sleep every night. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I don't really work much, and I just get to do what I love. So it's I
listening just got a boner.
The Big Lebowski of the outdoors.
Right. Like as the saying goes, it's good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, so that makes you a very interesting guest because you do so much out in the wilderness, like you're out there doing it. I mean, look, we talk about deer hunting. So you guys are talking about bird hunting. I'm gonna glaze over and I'll just take the mic off and walk out for a little bit. You can spend time on the Up Duck podcast for that probably.
And
I'm not saying no, but
I would like to talk to you after we're done shooting this episode.
Yep.
Because I do have the fishing podcast in our network. So
sure.
We'll be in touch.
Yeah, we all got a little piece of the pie.
When
here.
you come on one part of this
you're
network,
getting
you're going to go on
us.
at least 4.
We're gonna drag you through the mud of every show on the network. We also have down in Idaho at the bottom of Sawtooth with Zach.
I wasn't too far from him
See the
last
birds
week.
hanging back there. So
nice.
Yeah, there's a lot. We got to get Levi on here at some point. I give Levi a lot of shit. I just got to get him on as a guest after his next hunt because he does a lot of guiding out in Wyoming. He'll probably have a couple fun bear stories for us. In addition to Matt's bear that he got, Matt Boyer.
Yeah.
Or not Matt Boyer, but Boyer podcast.
Matt Boyer podcast, yeah. Matt Morris.
Thank you.
Yep, there you are.
His words are just spilling out.
Which did not take him long, by the way.
With a track.
It's like I'm going on a bear hunt. The next day there was like a picture of a dead bear.
Giant, big giant dead bear.
You're effective.
Yeah.
That was basically the same story as my first and only bear hunt to this point. I was talking with some friends of mine that work for Onyx, and I was like, I'd always kind of wanted to go on a spot and stock black bear hunt in Montana. 2 years ago. They're like, oh, we'll come out for the spring season. Like, spend a week. Might get a bear. Probably won't, but maybe. I got into Montana and met up with those guys at 5 o'clock. We hiked 5 miles. I pulled the trigger at 8:15. We got the bear off the mountain at 1:15, and that was my entire bear hunt.
All done.
Hopefully, you stayed for the week and did some trout fishing.
I stayed for the week and helped those guys try to get a bear, which we didn't see any other black bears. We've seen other large brown-colored bears with humps that are kind of grumpy, but we didn't see any other black bears. I shot the only one we seen.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow. Shit.
Our season opens this week or this Wednesday
Yeah, Matt
here in Wisconsin.
Strong's got a tag.
Yep,
He
Matt's
said
got a
no,
tag.
he's leaving Thursday.
My
You guys
buddy
got some
Ben,
giant bears over there too.
We
Like-
do.
Yeah.
They're corn-fed, literally.
yeah, we got some big ones.
Yeah.
There's 700-pounder every year that gets shot.
Goodness. I mean, like that's as big as one of the biggest grizzlies in Montana. I mean, like
This sucker's like laying in a cornfield and it's rolled
All he
over
does is
like
just
a parking lot size area.
He just rolled. They lay in the cornfield once they're done eating berries and
It's ridiculous.
then cleaning out all the
Acorns.
local bait piles
Don't have
and
berries.
acorns. Yeah. Then they go to the cornfields and then they just kind of roll around in there like a hog and they eat until the combine comes. So it's ridiculous.
that's actually how our moose are up here. We have a which people don't actually believe until they've been here, and they actually like when I'm pheasant hunting every year, I kick moose out of cattail sloughs, not daily but weekly.
Yeah.
And they just live in the egg fields. They walk out, start eating, and then they go back and lay down in the cattails, and like that's
They're
all
good.
the farther they walk.
Yeah. If the worst they have to
That's
deal with
about
is a
what we
bird
do.
hunter
Couch to
kicking them
fridge to
out.
pantry to couch. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you make it to your bed some nights. I don't
All
know.
they got to do is
you're lucky.
move when the bird hunters come through and they're fine.
It's all fun and games until one of the dogs starts barking or chasing them, and then they decide that they don't want to be barked at or chased, and then they come running at me, and I'm standing there with a 410 or a 28 gauge, and there's a charging bull moose. It gets real wild real fast.
I was gonna say that those are the kind of animals that they don't have to move if they don't want to.
No.
No,
We can make you move pretty quick.
I moved. I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5", 310 pounds, and I moved real fast when that thing started coming at me.
All the muscle fibers were twitching that day.
Yep.
My slow twitch muscles turned into fast twitch muscles real quick.
They haven't twitched that fast ever before since high school, probably.
Holy cow.
I'm going to text you guys a picture. I know this is I do this stuff all the time. I know this is kind of a visual thing or a auditory thing, but this is the moose my cousin got last year, so you guys can get an idea of what the moose up here look like. I sent it to your Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
How many do they?
Actual moose.
How many tags do
Oh, that's
they?
a nice one.
Do you guys draw for in a year? Or
I think about 700 or 800.
Oh, wow.
He may or may not have shot that out of a John Deere combine. It was he had a landowner gratis tag, and he called me and said that there was a big one up there. He was combining corn, and then 20 minutes later he sent me a text saying he got it. So,
Wow.
I don't know if he shot it out of the combine or not, but I mean the big green bird dog does it again right there.
Yeah.
That is not the only animal that a big green combine is credited to. I
They
think.
call it the John Moose.
So, North Dakota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Mhm.
is that what people call Nodak?
Yep.
That is.
And then that other place that
Well,
Sodak.
there's Nodak,
Or
Sodak, there's Modak, which is the
Mhm.
strip of land that's on the edge of North Dakota, South Dakota, edge of Montana, going down to Wyoming, which I've been through.
who's
And
that
you
other
would-
Jim Shockey
it's
like
awesome.
dude. He's not Jim Shockey. He's the other one. That
No,
works.
you're talking about. No, I know who you're talking about.
Johnny Vincent.
Vincent.
Johnny
Johnny Vincent.
Where
Yeah.
did he go? He went to like
That's a different.
an island.
That's like a
somewhere.
different.
I know. But it
that's
just
a
sounds
totally.
the same to me.
That's
What
like
is it I'm
Alaska.
thinking
I
of?
feel like
He's been to Alaska. Well, he
But
was on
there's
that
a name.
island
It's
in
not. It's
Alaska.
like something like another DAC.
it's like a much creepier.
Oh,
more
Adak.
dramatic-
He went to
Adak.
Yeah, the,
Adak.
the winds of
Adak.
Adak.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
more creepy and dramatic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
They're
dramatic.
like vacant.
The
like-
winds of no.
Yeah. Yeah, winds of Adak.
So people say Nodak. Like when you're from there, is it lame to be like, I'm from Nodak? But like when people say they're going there, it's kind of like this Well, I'm going to Nodak.
Well, I think that we have more of a problem with people from Fargo saying that they're from North Dakota because that's basically Minnesota. And the old joke up here is and I still love it and it still works, is why is North Dakota so windy? It's because Minnesota sucks and Montana blows. And, like, so I think that they misnamed North Dakota and South Dakota. They should have named it East Dakota, West Dakota, like East River, West River. Because if you're East River, it's very flat, very ag,
totally different.
like, potholes.
You hit the Missouri River and everything changes.
Where's the Whitetail?
Your drive gets a lot more interesting.
It does. But you endure at least 6 hours of that.
6 hours of East Dakota.
Yep.
To hit
pretty much.
To look at.
Where you get about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Tyler,
yes.
We need to get this changed.
Yeah.
Let's start a petition.
100% agree. Yeah. I mean, it's, and
you could
like if you follow the Missouri River up from Bismarck north and you go west of there, it's awesome. You go east of there, sucks. Terrible. Like just
all
take
the
that
way
whole
into
part.
central Minnesota, really.
Gary Vaynerchuk's team, when I went to New York to meet him, one of their case studies that this is all marketing bullshit, but they changed a town to one of their clients was Miracle Whip. So they changed a town name down south from mayonnaise to Miracle Whip officially on the whole fucking 9. They made a whole thing out of it. They changed a town name to Miracle Whip. People were like, can they do that?
Like they just did.
Yeah, I don't know if either of you have ever met my friend Lane, but you've heard of Lane. He's a music teacher. Up small town, Suring, Peshtigo area.
Yep.
But his grandfather was on like the town, whatever, I don't know, committee thing where they were naming roads out in the country. And he named their street Dead End Road after both of them. His sister's name is Farron, and their street is called Farron Lane.
Okay.
It's a lane. Both the kids' names are
Oh,
Farron
I
and
see.
Lane. So he named it Farron Lane.
That's pretty
made
sure.
it legit. So I think East Dakota, West Dakota. I think we go with it.
We can figure that out.
So the town that went from Miracle Whip to Mayo, there was a town There was a town here in North Dakota that actually changed its name from Granville, North Dakota, to McGillicuddy City, USA.
Smell like mint.
Upgrade.
For the Schnapps brand.
For the Schnapps brand.
Yep. So like the menthol McGillicuddies and all that kind of stuff, cherry McGillicuddies,
A lot of sponsorships.
So what part of the country would you name Malort?
None. That's Mexico.
I mean, you have to find the biggest armpit, butthole flavored place that you could
Gary,
find.
Indiana.
Right there. Yeah,
Nailed
I
it.
would have to say
Yeah.
yes.
Gary, that whole surrounding area.
They call it Malort would be an upgrade.
Michigan City, Indiana is right next door, and it's not much different.
Not much better. No. Make sure you got plenty of gas when you're filling up in Wisconsin to get through Chicago and Gary and well into Michigan before you have to stop for gas again.
It may be worth your while to drive the extra 9 hours to go through upper Michigan.
I would do that.
Rather than go through Chicago.
I've been through the South End
Indiana.
and multiple times for work, and no thanks.
Tony Cordell commented, says it's like Wisco. So I'm like, if people say they're going to Wisco, I guess that's okay.
Sure.
Do Illinois people say like, going up to Wisco this weekend?
No, they say we're going to the Dells this weekend.
Or Door County.
Yeah, there's that.
I grab that.
Usually when I go over to Michigan now, I go to Manitowoc and jump on Ludington. I go to Ludington and jump on it's Ludington in Michigan. It's Manitowoc in Wisconsin. You jump on the ferry, the Badger.
The Badger.
That did not run for a year or two during COVID.
Yeah, their damn gate fell off.
That's
to get on there fell right the hell off.
She was kind of in rough shape there for a minute. So we had to take a pause for some maintenance.
Did the Manitowoc Minute guy? I was in rough shape there for a minute, guy.
But he should have. Yeah. Charlie should have been on that one.
He probably was.
We should get Charlie on the podcast one day.
That can be fun. That's doable. We had the You Betcha guy on the podcast a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time
ago.
Shit.
Miles,
We had Miles on.
Yeah. Old Bush. Anyway, so when you go to Nodak, North Dakota, to go whitetail hunting, and you have these two vast. So, like, I picture like the whitetail adrenaline guys, Jared Scheffler. They're not going to North Dakota. Who was it? The Hunting Public that's been doing that?
The Hunting Public comes
Hunting Public's been up there.
Lots of people have been hitting
like the white
North Dakota.
We know some people. Yeah. We know a few people that are there right now. In fact,
I don't know who.
There's a plethora.
So for years, it was kind of a hidden gem because you could buy non-residents can buy a bow tag over the counter. And for years, it was any deer in the state. And for years, a lot of people were coming in from out of state to go down to the Badlands and hunt big giant mule deer. You could just buy it over the counter for $200 or whatever it was and go down there and shoot a big mule deer. And now you have to draw for a mule deer tag, but you can still buy any whitetail tag for the whole state. And there's, like, here where I'm at north of the river, we have roughly 50-50 mule deer to whitetail. It's probably 70-30, but there's some nice mule deer up here too that you can still get with just a standard tag. And then there's like a Badlands specific tag for the big mule deer.
I think we have a target for the next year.
I don't know. And we're getting closer. We're inching our way, to the kids being older. This is so I got 2 kids.
I think
in
you're
school this
centimeter
year.
in
Like,
your way.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have lots of invites and ideas and aspirations, and at some point I'd love to cash all the social equity in and, hey, I'm going to be hunting every state this year, like kind of thing.
Now that would be
not every state, but every state I can, and I feel like it's in the future, but not in the immediate future.
There's a good trip that if you guys ever get a chance to do, you should. So all the way along Lake Sakakawea, it's enormous. It's a Missouri River reservoir. It's public land all the way around the lake, the Corps of Engineer land, and you could take a boat down the river and archery hunt from the river up into the draws. And like you just use the boat, and it's basically like hunting black bear in Alaska, right? Where you're just driving down the river nice and slow, and you're glassing in the mornings and the evenings, and you watch which draw a deer runs up into, and you go up there and sneak it. And like there's big giant deer down there that never see people ever.
So they wouldn't run if they saw you. They'd be like,
and I have a boat that's big enough to handle that big water.
Is that big?
Yeah, it's big.
It's huge. It's like 140 miles long.
Big?
Well, they are a trophy fish, so yeah.
I don't
it's kind
know.
of a big deal. What's this guy's deal here?
We're not taking my 12-foot aluminum boat, I'll tell you that.
So
the kayak is out of question.
No, you're not kayaking, you're not canoeing. Nice try, though, Clark.
Gotcha. We've been talking about taking a 4 or 5 day long trip down on a pontoon
over here,
where you can get enough gear on a pontoon and just go all the way down and hunt our whole way down. But we can't do it even in my 21-foot fiberglass boat. It's just you have too much gear. But
oh sure, yeah, you got to worry about that. Right, yeah, you got a hole on. You got a hull.
I got a 19-foot tin can that we can go beach wherever we want.
I'm going to get rid of my boat this year.
You might have to hang on to it if someone can.
I'll go if we can bring a slalom ski.
Sure, why not?
Just ride behind the boat in a tube.
Yeah, I can pull some people behind in a tube.
That's going to up the amount of gear we can bring.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remodeled the back of the boat, so now we have
remodeled the whole boat.
I know. I got a kicker on there.
Was that a pun?
I mean, we could go pull for walleyes or whatever we want to do.
You can catch fish right while you're going along the shoreline. Absolutely.
Trolling on the stock.
I've not seen any deer. Let's put a line in the water.
Why are we hunting Wisconsin again?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
It's the land of opportunity, and that's why I was so excited to talk to Tyler.
So are you doing some whitetail hunting out there, or are you going for mule deer, or what are you after this year? Like, are you just gonna go chase birds?
I got a rifle tag. So here it's a draw even for residents for our deer tags. Yeah. I mean, you're guaranteed basically a doe tag every year. This year I drew a buck tag. Every year it's the same thing, but I draw a buck tag. I'm convinced I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to shoot a great big deer. By day 3, I'm like, you'll do. And then we'll get up with horns, and it's like, it's time to go back to pheasant hunting. I'm good. Like, I'm happy. And
the right guy.
Yes, we are.
Right. I think I didn't have a buck tag last year. 2 years ago, I got a brand new rifle, and you talk about a cluster. I somehow misplaced my deer tag. It's only kind of important. So I had our deer season here. It's kind of hilarious for rifle. It opens up at noon. It's basically a shotgun start. And
it sounds like a pheasant opener.
Who can get to the buck first?
Right.
And so at 11 o'clock, I was like, okay, it's time to get tags in the truck. I got a brand new rifle, just got a bore sighted the day before. I need to go out and put this thing on paper. And then we're basically hunting from my house. Like, we're going to be a mile north of my house where we're going to start hunting. And can't find my tag. I got to drive an hour and 20 minutes to Williston and get a replacement tag from the Game and Fish. I get back here at 1:30. Thankfully, the shields in mine, I did a really good job board sighting my rifle because it took me 4 shots to get it zeroed in. 2:15, I punched my tag. I was like, okay. I was in a real big hurry. One got up and I'm staring at him through the scope and I'm like, okay, bang, and down he went. But this year I got a rifle tag, and so it's unit by unit. So this year, in this unit that I'm in right here, it's any antlered or any antlered lips. So you can shoot a mule deer, you can shoot a whitetail, whatever.
Buck or doe.
Basically, any deer, buck or doe.
Yep. If you go just on the other side of the highway from where I'm at here, it's different. It's mule deer antlered or whitetail antlered, but not in this unit. So one of my buddies shot a really nice mule deer last year off a piece of state trust land, 5 miles from my house. And that's kind of what I've always wanted, was one of those really nice chocolate horn mule deer, and put one on the wall because I don't have any deer on the wall. Because I mean, like the one I shot 2 years ago was like a 145-inch deer, and I'm not going to put something like that on the wall. But if I would have got that mule deer that he shot last year, I think that was 176 inches or something like that. And I was like, come on, man. Like, how come it can never happen to me when I have a buck tag? But
hey, if you would have waited till 4:30, you might have got one.
Maybe. I was out hunting with my friends still for the next 5 days, and we didn't see one bigger than the one that I shot. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah,
I was
then
pretty happy.
I made the right choice.
Yeah. It's that old saying, don't pass on day one. What would you be happy with on the last day? And I would have been very happy with that deer on last day. And it's like, well, shit, I get to go pheasant hunting sooner than I planned.
Yeah. I regret not shooting that doe last year. There's a doe I could have just smoked with my smoke pole, and I was too hopped up. I don't know. I got
smoke pole. Do you mean rifle?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. So I was like,
it's like catching deers, but different.
I also have a muzzleloader tag this year, and again, draw still. I've been putting in for a buck tag for muzzleloader for 9 years now.
Wow.
No buck tag. But I drew a second choice doe tag or whatever. And I think it'd be kind of cool if they change it from muzzleloader to like primitive weapon. Like you should be able to shoot them with like an open sight 30-30 lever action, or a 45-70 or a 357 rifle or whatever.
Or
and you straight walled cartridge.
Straight walled cartridge.
Right.
Sticks and stones mode, where you just run around with a knife or your hands, or
tomahawk, machete,
or a single shot pistol or whatever it was.
Right. And, I mean, it's like those new inline muzzleloaders are just as accurate as a 30-30. I mean, what the hell is the difference?
Dude, there are guys who can shoot some of those muzzleloaders. No shit, like 350.
I bet you it's different when you know you only have one shot.
I know a guy.
I know a couple guys who are like,
I know
dude,
a guy.
I'm punching paper at like 350.
But if you have one shot,
primitive.
are you shooting your shot different than if you know you can just keep racking rounds?
Your first shot's the only one that counts. That's the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make your first shot count.
Well, the last one's the one that killed it. I don't know.
Well,
If you ain't first, you're
usually every subsequent shot after the first is a
I said that, Ricky.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's how I roll. I'm saying that's how I was brought up.
It's definitely that way in the world of bird hunting. If I hear somebody shoot once, they got it. If it's twice, maybe 3 times, there's no way.
No,
I mean, like nobody ever, like you just waste that third shell just because you shot the second one. It's like, okay, whatever.
That third one's just a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Maybe I can tickle his ass feathers with that.
I had a buddy who was 2-shot Ben. He always shot the first shot like into the ground just to get him going more. Like rabbits, grouse, just boom. And then the second shot was always on. The first shot was never close. We didn't hunt with dogs, though. We never hunted with dogs.
Dogs help.
Yeah.
Dog, man, you're not going to shoot the dog if you unload into the bush.
Yeah, if you don't have the dogs, you're not gonna
Which
shoot
is
the
great.
dogs. Yeah. So that sounds like a good time. The terrain sounds fun. Not that first part of the state you're talking about, but the second.
Right. Western, yeah.
Yeah, Western's got a special place in my heart after visiting there last year. Like I just looked at it as so much opportunity to do so many things.
Are you going to do stuff over there or what?
Not this year.
Are you going to reactivate the elk hunt? Where the fuck are we going to go?
How about we just start doing some research?
You guys remember Jonas from Foam Fest 2 years ago? The guy I went to Texas with? He shot a 6x5 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
With his bow.
What did I do with an elk? Like,
6x5 elk?
It wouldn't fit in here.
No.
I have to put it on the floor.
Yeah. You mount it so the chest is on the floor and the antlers are hitting the-
Yeah.
The heck do you do with an elk? Maybe you do
Eat
some
it.
rack up stuff.
Eat
I
it
don't
for
know.
2 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'd fucking eat it. That's for sure. I mean, I would definitely be open to. I'm not open to, but like very, very content with shooting a cow. And I have no qualm. Whatever it is, raghorn, cow. I don't know what they're called because I'm not an elk hunter yet.
I like that.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
See that?
I saw
See that?
optimism,
Uh,
a little twinkle in his eye.
I like that.
How many episodes have you recorded on your podcast, Tyler?
320-ish, like a bunch.
He's rolling.
Yeah,
Greg's
I
a
usually, I try to do one a week, but I've lately, since I've gotten this far down the podcasting road, I've had some that I'm just not happy with, and I just delete them. Or I'll have a guest that'll come on that kind of forgets how to talk a little bit. It's like they get kind of quiet, they get nervous, whatever, and it's like, okay, at 20 minutes, if I'm staring at the clock at 20 minutes, it's not a good podcast, and I just delete it.
We've had those. We still post them.
I have for a long time. I recently just got tired of it. So I'm kind of going down the same path that you guys are apparently on. I got a couple buddies that met through the podcast actually that started coming up here to North Dakota. They loved it, and so therefore one of them quit his job, got divorced, and moved here.
Did he buy an L route?
No, but he's going to work for me on mine during the summer and spring anyways.
Wow.
And then another one is retiring from New Hampshire, and him and his wife, I sold them 2 acres on my property here, and they're going to be moving out this spring.
Shit.
So I'm going to be able to have co-hosts instead of trying to get somebody in to interview all the time, because like
See?
the upland hunting world is pretty small anyways. After 300 episodes, there just isn't that many people left.
So you can pick your neighbors and your coworkers.
If you live in Nodak,
You can totally do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you own the land next to you, you can pick your neighbor.
Yeah, certainly.
Tyler's got more options than you do.
I gotta say that
He's stuck with us.
I'm
Totally.
super enthused that we got here. So like these guys, no one's fucking getting paid here, myself included. Like, we're all this is all free labor, but obviously I have a vested interest. Like my name's I'm part of the EIN or whatever the hell it's called. But
He's the head idiot.
yeah. Like I'm the one that's gonna have to like.
Which one of you idiots is in charge?
The government,
Greg and I both go,
that one.
That one right there.
the government will take my house and not theirs. But
That's
I gotta say,
I'd rather be on that side of the table then, because that's a concern.
Yeah.
I gotta say I had a moment the other day. I almost got like a little emotional because, dude, the business just bought plane tickets for you guys to go to Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna get teary-eyed right now. I'm pretty jazzed about it.
So we were
Like,
joking when we said we
I
didn't get
can't-
paid.
Yeah,
Because
no.
we obviously,
But no one's getting
Dude,
monetary
we get-
compensation.
but we
like,
get
We're not paying
look,
taxes on
we
it.
have gotten to a place where this business can afford to do some shit, and that's
That's
one of
pretty
those. That's
bad.
one of those
Yeah.
shits.
and
we're gonna-
Eric
that's one of those
always
shits we're gonna
treats
take.
us.
Always does.
He always treats
Anyway, so it's
It's never been an issue.
getting the
Good
co-host
man.
has been
Mhm.
a big deal because, like you, I was
a little
doing this on
weird,
my own.
but good guy.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
Definitely weird.
Likes to
Super
run in
awkward.
100-degree weather, which is a little
The
fucked up.
hotter it is,
Now
the
that we think
further he
about
goes.
it. Yeah, I know.
I don't understand.
No, so you get some
We're
co-hosts, and
blessed.
it's a good
Yes.
time.
It just makes a conversation better. I mean, like
Mhm.
if you come into a podcast and you're trying to quote unquote interview somebody,
Yeah.
those just, I mean, they're like sometimes they can be okay, but most of the times they're just like,
But
like
it's
you're
all
kind of
you
going through the
as
motions.
the main host. Like these guys pick up my slack. I'm pushing buttons and doing shit, and like they're actively listening. Like Derek, I've mentioned, is an active listener. Greg's always got something to say, and the way he says it is what's really important. It's very colorful.
You've got a way about you. It's,
Greg's
real nice.
I think it's what's the word? His lexicon is very colorful.
We call it trade mouth.
If you were from down south, you'd be see trade mouth.
Some kind of mouth he's got there.
Yeah, just open all the time looking for a hot dog.
Whoa, easy.
Oh boy.
Like a largemouth bass just on the hunt.
You compared me to a ditch pickle. Seriously.
You've been
See, I
listening to
wouldn't
the
call it
podcast,
fair.
haven't you?
Man.
The fuck's a ditch pickle?
Oh, Lord.
Uh,
You need to
More
listen
like
to
a
the
sea
podcast.
more like a sea cucumber.
We're having a bro minute. It's
Oh
okay.
boy.
Here we go
This
again.
bro minute's brought to you by Latitude. Go climb a tree. We had to get weird. We haven't been in the room together.
Are
in a
they
long
making a
time.
2-person saddle yet?
Oh,
Or no?
yeah, we
Oh,
call that the
damn.
spider. There's your April Fool's for that.
Jesus.
That's
You
awesome.
did bring up the
That's
spider
awesome.
to me this past weekend. You brought up the
Saddle
spider.
is called a cuddle.
They
Like,
call it the
I mean,
cuddle.
Like
Yeah.
what you used to do with your middle school girlfriend on the swing set.
That was a special moment.
I'm sure it
Oh,
was.
Her
shit.
name was Misty.
I mean, how else are you
Really?
supposed
Here
to
we
They
go.
always are.
So
They're
how
always
else are you supposed to get that over the shoulder POV? I mean, like you gotta just hug the guy, and get right there.
No
Oh.
doubt.
I'll get your 6 if you get my noon.
Good Lord.
Tyler knows exactly what we're talking about.
Just like that, we're all going to hell.
But we
you guys,
weren't going anywhere.
Right? Man, we ain't going anywhere fast.
you guys know what Mark Twain said about hell, right? Like you go to heaven for the climate and hell for the company. That's my whole
Yes.
life motto.
I
That's
love
my
it.
entire life
love
motto.
it.
I saw a quote on a movie screen the other day. It was a movie, and then the switch to it was like these quotes, and one of the quotes was, "Oh fuck, I'm glad I get to talk about this." It was
That's the quote?
no. It was so good. I haven't
Like,
been able to
oh,
share.
okay.
I haven't been able to share this yet. It was like, I'm gonna get it wrong, but it was like, people are hell. Like hell is other hell is other people, and I was like, oh yeah, I've gotten to that age now where I totally agree. Like, fuck, other people are hell.
Dude, I had my first moment of midlife crisis this fall or this summer. I bought a new set of tires for my pickup, and I bought a 0-turn mower on the same day.
Oh,
And I was sitting outside on the porch, just staring at them both.
proud-
Just
I'm
freaking
proud of
whiskey.
you,
I was like, "This
I'm
is a
proud of
good
those
day,
tires.
man. This is
and
a
that
good
lawn
day."
boy. Which
Yeah.
one?
Wow, I don't know if I could be more. I
Rubber,
got 2 kids, but
I mean,
would
typically when
make
you
me pretty proud.
bought rubber and grass on the same day, it was a different
That's
event.
right, man. That's right. Yeah. Like you go from college to now, and it's a different rubber and grass for sure.
Clark, that one you brought it home right there,
Oh,
brother.
man.
Rubbers and grass.
Nobody rides for free.
That's right.
Snoop Dogg has done it totally different.
Again, did it right
Yeah,
somehow.
these are very blunt conversations.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I got puns for days, guys.
It's a sad day. My bottle of Rare Breed's empty.
Oh,
shit. Well, it
no.
sounds like it was a good
I'm sure
moment,
you got
though.
one more tucked away somewhere.
I got other stuff tucked away. I got good scotches and I got some other good bourbon, but
We used to do scotch all the time. I just got on the bourbon trend. There's just more options, I think.
Well, but a good scotch is pretty nice.
It is. It's very
I ended up with one
peaty.
on that
the Christmas thing.
that stuff.
I don't like the peaty ones. Give me a good single malt.
No,
and
The
I'm
one
down.
that I have, it's one of the Belventis.
The Belvinis. Yeah.
Belvini, sorry. Shows you how much of a scotch drinker I am, but that stuff, not
You guys are
peaty,
Speaking Spanish to me, I don't know.
not peaty at all.
Because it's moss, like
Yeah.
peat moss.
Yeah.
It tastes like
Yeah.
really it's
Like,
too
dude,
smoky.
I like
you-
hunting in peat moss.
if you have a Lagavulin or something like that, it tastes like you're sucking dirt off the forest floor. It's not great, but a good like Glenlivet 18 or something like that.
Smokiness.
Money.
Scotch and a Bloody Mary is a really smoky Bloody Mary. And,
That's got to be a Wisconsin thing right there. I don't
I was
think
just gonna
anybody's
say
ever
it.
gotten that before.
You
No,
did
no, I
vodka.
think this is an Eric
Vodka
Clark
and a
thing.
Bloody
Yeah,
Mary.
yeah,
You don't
You don't
vodka.
put scotch in a Bloody Mary.
Vodka and a Bloody Mary, not scotch.
no,
Dude,
like,
You
What are you doing?
you add all the Bloody Mary stuff to get rid of the nasty vodka flavor,
no, listen, guys.
which is like nothing.
all-
But like
you
you
yeah.
just add it.
You don't
so it's
taste
good.
the scotch. You just taste the smoke.
But you want.
Man,
I don't know if
I
I
don't
can
know.
Maybe.
I'm fighting
It's
this
like
with all
it's
my
like
being
a Bloody
right now.
Mary with a little bit.
I wanna
extra
like what you're
carrot.
saying, but I don't like it.
I'm not liking where you're
Don't
going
knock
with
it
this.
until you try it, guys. I'm telling
You
you.
can try it with like a smoky like Johnny Walker would be really smoky. That might not be super bad.
Yep, not Blue Label. We're not wasting that shit on Bloody Mary. But
If I'm ice fishing, I'll drink anything.
Fleischmann's.
So,
You're drinking
That is
Wethersfield.
absolutely the rule when you're ice fishing.
If I'm
There
ice
is
fishing,
no
I'll
rule.
drink anything at
Uh-huh.
8 o'clock. It's like, all right, who's got
It's
something?
Bush Light and Fleischmann's.
All right,
Dude,
let's try that. Let's try it. That's what you do when you're ice fishing.
Over in Wisconsin, do you guys have are ice castles a thing? Like the RVs that you park on a lake and you drive out to on a 4-wheeler?
With
Well, depending on the ice, the last
yeah,
2
like
years.
the past couple
yeah,
of years,
El Nino has been a thing.
No,
it's been
Right.
a problem. I mean,
shanties are barely
in the Fox Lake area or the Fox Valley area. So, like Winnebago, that whole chain, sturgeon spearing is a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's where you're going to see shacks with big holes cut in the ice with a
I don't know where this is
chainsaw.
going.
But you're not seeing some of the big fancy pull behind ice shacks that are tandem axle trailers you lower down.
Yeah. It's so
Not seeing
a
that.
couple of my friends have the ice castles, and this is how serious we take ice fishing. We went out and we forgot the fucking auger. And we still stayed for 2 days.
Great time. And you had a great
We have a flat screen in there. We had the tailgater. We were watching football. We're playing pinochle and cribbage and
Best
drinking
ice
our
fishing
faces
trip
off.
we've
We
ever done.
never fished once.
It was
Never wet a
so
line.
stress-free. We didn't have to worry about the fish. We were out
Hey,
there.
I mean, like when I go ice fishing, I'm not worried about the fish. Like it's going to be a nice day, or I'm going to be in an ice castle, and if we catch fish, we catch fish, because like those things are enormous. I mean, like my friend Matt's is 26 feet long. It's got bunk beds in it, and flat screen TVs, full kitchen, everything else. It's like, hey, we're not moving this thing
sounding better and better.
Yeah, no doubt,
Every
dude.
time.
So
And
we're
it
not
doubles as-
moving that thing at all. So if the fish are where the ice house is parked at, we might catch
If they
fish.
have holes.
And then they
Amazing.
wheel it out. Come November, they wheel it out to go deer hunting out of.
100%.
Didn't Tupac have a song called "Ice Castles in the Sky"? I know that was Mansions, but it's pretty close.
You're on your way to writing some new lyrics. It
I'm
sounds
sorry,
like.
I'll
I
stop.
am a Tupac fan, though.
Was it Tupac? Who did that Mansions in the Sky?
I don't know.
Someone. When you
Sounds
die,
like a
you
T-Pain.
get a mansion, and that's what like everyone.
Somewhere in
Thug,
Wisconsin,
Thug, yeah,
up in your
that's
mansion.
different.
Yeah, mansion. in
That
Wisconsin.
guy stole from Tupac. That's what happened. Someone in the comments help me out here. The phone lines are open, by the way. You can call into the show. If you got a question for Tyler or us, or
I'm just going
whatever.
to throw a
I'll put the
disclaimer.
number
I
on the
mentioned it
screen.
multiple times. I don't mean to overbring it up, but I'm going to overbring it up. If you have an electric ice auger and it gets stuck on, tell everyone,
Oh, 'cause of
so
both
you don't
thumbs.
have a bow thumb, which means your thumb gets ripped off because of an electric ice auger.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was freaking terrible.
Yeah.
So
Rest in peace, both of them.
rest in peace.
He did. I was texting him.
In
He said he's able
pieces.
to shoot his bow fine.
Yeah, he's shooting.
Bow can shoot his bow.
Yeah.
Different spelling of those two things, but yeah. So with that much time off, what does the rest of this calendar year look like for you? Like, are you doing the I'm going to go everywhere again?
He's done
or-
working.
Yeah. Yes, I am done working. My employees are very aware of my fall/early winter plans. So I give them all their time off. Like, and they all know I've had the same employees now for 4 years or whatever.
They're like, turn the
from-
fuck off, guys.
Right. From,
He's like, whatever. Fuck it up.
Just don't tank the business.
from early February until September 1, if they want to take 2 weeks off, a week off, 4 days off, whatever, call me and I'll work. Doesn't bother me a bit. And but once September gets here, it better be an emergency. Like somebody better be dead, somebody better be in the hospital, or else I'm going to be upset. And so this year, I'm taking off tomorrow morning for Montana. They asked me to come out and film with Onyx and Pheasants Forever. They're doing a film on kind of based on something me and two of my friends started 5 or 6 years ago. We called it the Montana Grouse Slam. There's five species of grouse in Montana, and we did it all in 5 days. So we're filming that. Then I get back here. Our season opens up on the 14th. I'll be here until the first part of like December 1st. And then I'm hunting South Dakota, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Nevada, Idaho, and then maybe back down to Arizona, depending on what the weather is here.
What's your gear closet look like? Do you have camouflage or like?
I have camouflage that I use for turkeys and ducks and deer, I guess. But other than that, it's a lot of blaze orange. Blaze orange. I would fit in very well at a Packers game.
Yeah, that a boy.
Right.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just saying, like, man, that's a lot of different terrain types and vegetation types.
Yeah.
And, like
A lot of different
shit.
boots. A lot of different.
I got one pair of boots. I use the same pair of boots for everything. I run crispy Idaho GTX 2s. And so I grew up playing baseball, and I've broken my ankle several times. And so I need really good, like very good ankle support in the mountain boots, and the crispies are the best I've found.
Nice. You're just not wading into cattail marshes very far.
Yeah, we were a big fan of muck here.
Yeah, I got a pair right there, like right there. I tend to not wear, like after 4 or 5 miles of walking, mucks will give me a little bit of a blister.
Yeah, they're not ideal.
They're not a lot of mile boot, but they're very, very handy for those situations. But usually I'm not getting into the cattails till it freezes. And then we'll walk one guy on the inside, one guy on the outside, and run the dog in between. And we'll just work all the way around those little ponds. And usually I'm the guy on shore because I'm smarter than all my friends. And I just let them walk out there and fall through the ice and get wet. So
I'm dumber
One
than all my
day,
friends.
I think that's my goal in hunting, is one day be the guy who's smarter than the rest of the guys. I've never been close to that.
So like, this is the kind of quality people that I hunt with, and I love them all. They're my best friends. But I shot a badger several years ago, and it went down the hole and died. And I was able to talk my buddy Mike, who we call Hatchet Mike, into sticking his arm down there and retrieving said badger. So therefore, he's the guy. I'm like, hey, that ice should be good to walk on. And I think if you like, it's going to be nice, easy walking out there. Why don't you walk out on the ice? And then if he falls through, I know it's not safe for me.
Holy shit!
Did he get the badger?
You need to re-nickname him Honey Badger Mike.
He got the badger.
Yeah, he did get the badger, and it was dead. So it was a long story. We're out deer hunting, and we're driving down a gravel road, going to another spot, and we see dirt getting thrown up out of the field. And I was like, badger. And this is back when fur was actually worth money back then. I mean, and we're broke. I mean, this is probably 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, so like that badger was $60 on the carcass, and it's like that's 2 boxes of shells, a case of beer. That badger's coming home with us.
Yeah,
might get at least 4 of those beers.
Right. So I get out, I grab my 7 mag, and I'm on the bipod, and my buddy Mike starts lip squeaking, and this thing pokes its head up out of the hole, and I pull the trigger, and dirt flies, and he's like, I think you got it. And I was like, well, I don't know if I got it or not. It's 150 yards away, and all I could see was like the little white stripe running down its head. And he runs out there, and he's like, it's down there, but God, I don't think it's moving. I was like, well, just reach down there and grab it, and he did. He just like up to his shoulder. And I was like,
have a second thought.
Just go stick your hands in this coil spring trap.
Right. And I mean, and
You're
like,
real quick.
Real quick. It's just a quick bite.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, just be quick. I mean, like, they don't have they're not real articulate in their neck. So if you just grab it quick and pull it out,
you just grab and pull.
Move your hands side
The
to side.
alligator has no pressure lifting up. It's just the down part.
Run like a Z.
Right.
Run like a Z.
As it turned out, that 162 grain bullet from that 7mm cut his head like in half. And so there was no real risk there, but we didn't know that, or at least I didn't know that. He was more convinced that I hit it than he was, or than I was. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's his choice, I suppose. Did you say so like we sent the automated calendar invite and it asked us some questions and stuff. Did I read that you fell down a mountain?
Did. Yeah, so I was up there ptarmigan hunting, and there's 2 guys that listen to my podcast, Eric Locker and Evan Withrow, and they've been sending me messages for years. And you were talking about that social equity of actually cashing those things in and going on a hunt.
Yeah.
Like, I want to shoot a ptarmigan. These guys hunt ptarmigan. All right, I'll go. And so that's how that whole trip went. And the first day, like, to say they undersold how easy this hunt would be, real understatement. We parked the truck, we hiked 7 miles up, we gained 4,000 vertical feet in 7 miles. On the way up, we're going through a valley that's literally like this, and it's scree rock on all sides. And I stepped on a rock, and the moss slid off it on top, and I went about 150 feet down, and banged my ribs into some more rock, and fractured 3 of my ribs. This is day 1. I'm up there for 2 weeks.
Hey guys,
I was like, okay, so 6'5", 310 pounds. It hurt.
falls hard.
You look like Chris Farley in Black Sheep rolling down the hill, tumbling through pine trees.
I had my gun up like this. Never got a scratch in the gun. And my anyways.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as it turns out, as anybody who's ever broken ribs knows, it hurts a lot, and it hurts for a long time, and it really hurts a lot when you're breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Well, guess what's going to happen when you're hiking 7 miles in and gaining 4,000 feet? You're going to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
So we don't end up seeing any ptarmigan on this entire walk. Get back, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to get a ptarmigan, it's got to be tomorrow, because I'm going to be so tired and so sore after this actually bruises up. I'm not going to be able to make it. The next day was harder. and it was an 8-mile walk where we gained 5,000 feet walking through a goddamn rainforest with mosquitoes on our face and mud up to our knees through like on what was generously I would consider a bear trail. And
Devils all over the place.
Did you see any
all over
moose
the place? Moose shit everywhere, and we also seen great big giant piles of salmon-filled grizzly bear shit. We're on the Kenai Peninsula.
Very welcoming.
And driving from here, we can't bring pistols. You can't drive across Canada with pistols. So I got bear spray, which I think is just going to make me taste spicy if I get eaten by a bear. That's basically it. Thankfully, the two guys from up there, they were carrying 10 mils. We walk up. My short hair Bo, who's laying over here, he got a 8-mile crash course in healing. Because I was like, you're not going to go and wander off in the bush and get chased by a moose or a bear or whatever. Also needed to make sure he stayed fresh for when we actually got up there. We got up to this, what they call a hanging valley, and we went 400 yards. Dog went on point. I walked up, shot 4 ptarmigan, turned around, hiked back to the truck. I was like, I am done. Like, I'm wet, I'm cold, I'm tired, I'm very sore. I didn't sleep at all last night. And then I spent the next 9 days fishing salmon in the Kenai, which still wasn't bad.
That doesn't sound terrible.
No, as far as options go, I mean, that wasn't a terrible one.
Shit, what happened to you last night? I don't know. Could have been the nude gay art show at the place.
Could have been soft mattress. Could have been soft mattress.
Or the midnight raping, falling down the mountain, beating up my ribs. I don't know. You tell me. Eat some donuts. I'm gonna recharge. Get back to neutral.
I was bruised from the top of my hip. I was bruised from the top of my hip to my nipples until October, and this was in August.
God, man.
Ouch.
It sucked. It sucked for a long time.
Do you have any
That's a
pictures?
large distance.
I got pictures, but they're not for public consumption.
That's fair. Just ask him if he took pictures.
I'll text them to you. Yeah.
Right,
What are you getting, Derek, on your phone, Derek?
Just my crispy boots and Under Armour underwear. That's
Eye nipples. It's not the same.
Wanted to see the bruising.
I love it when it turns purple.
Yeah. Bad. It's worse when it starts turning green and everything else.
A ball once. It wasn't pleasant at all.
I went into the ER in Anchorage a couple days later, and just to kind of confirm that they were broken, I guess, make sure they weren't going to puncture a lung or anything else. And they're like, I asked the doctor, I was like, is there anything I can do for it? He said, yeah, don't fall down any more mountains. And I was like, okay, that's a solid medical advice. Thanks, doc.
All right,
That's worth at least 170 an hour.
Usually didn't tell you to sneeze or fart. Don't sneeze, don't fart.
Dude, the older you get, the more that you sneeze, you do fart, and you're just hoping it's a fart.
Yeah.
Like at this point, you're really hoping that that's all it is.
Yeah.
On the way to
the shutoff valve does not act as quick as it
used to. You were talking about that fast twitch muscle fiber earlier. Yeah, it's not quite as fast twitch as it once was.
Twitch sphincter muscle.
Yeah.
As soon as your brain thinks to do it, it's too late.
Yeah, I was well, speaking of poop, we were down
guy dumping on ptarmigan.
we were down in Arizona last year and chasing Mearns quail, and you park up on top of the canyons and you hike down, and 500-600 feet, pretty steep. You get all the way down to the bottom, and I was like, oh no, that salsa from last night is like Montezuma's revenge is coming imminently. And I start looking through my bird vest, and I'm out of toilet paper. So I was like, I did the quick mathematics in my brain. I'm like, well, if I lose my socks, I'm going to get blisters. Not going to be able to hunt for a few days. If I lose my underwear, I'm going to chafe. Not going to be able to hunt for a few days. So like this sleeve first, then this sleeve, and then there was still a little residue there. And so I decided to go crop top. And so when I walked out of the canyon, from the belly button down, I had a little bit of a sunburn line.
Oh my God! You went full crop top.
I did.
I'm so proud of you.
The best top is the best part is I'm walking out of the canyons. I run into another quail hunter, and he just looks at me. He's like, "I get it." And he just turned around and walked away. I was like, "Yeah, we've all been there once."
I've literally gone through that progression in my mind before. I've never managed to crop top though. I'm so proud of you.
Dude, Like it's something you got to do what you got to do. I'm not giving up my socks. I'm not getting blisters.
No,
You get blisters, you can't hunt no more.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Socks is bad. I will tell you, if you're one of those guys that still wears tighty whities, I don't know if they
I don't know
still
how.
Clark,
but
Chuck
if you
Clark.
have the extra,
I have proof.
the
know what
early
it
ones
is?
had an extra layer of material in the bottom.
No,
you
not-
could cut it
You
off.
remember my
and use
dad?
it.
You remember my dad?
I remember your dad. I
You'll
remember.
never forget that sight, will ya?
Never forget that moon. No,
No, but dude, you think about the old guy, like the stereotypical old white guy with like the flat backside, right? Like just you're a 2x4, goes
Yeah.
straight into your underpants.
Yeah, you got
Like,
you got an ass like a frog.
God bless that
The back of your
person.
head goes
'Cause
straight
if
to your
you
ankles.
have anything other than that, like I've been blessed in the bottom regions. That's not
I
good.
think that the old guys, I think that they lose the ass and it goes to the long balls, which then you really need support in the underwear.
Yeah.
You need the hydroglide.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
It's getting old.
It's good to find people that are just like me. God bless you guys.
We are okay.
Hey man, it's just stuff we think of.
If you're a
when
younger
we're out
person
there.
listening to this, like Bryce, just know that this is what's coming.
This is what it's going to come to.
What-
That's
eventually.
coming.
or your godson?
Yeah, Damien. Yeah,
Damien.
Damien.
Yep.
Great guy.
Just so you know.
Bryce he was your student.
Bryce was no, he wasn't. He was friends with a bunch of my
Oh, I
students.
see.
Never had him though, which is real weird.
And my
He knows a lot about
godson is
Because of the podcast.
struggling to get a bow dialed right now. He's been texting me, so he's down one arrow and some other arrows.
See, he
keep
couldn't be here
falling.
because he was here. He'd be bothering you about your bow
Yeah,
or his bow.
yeah. So I have to help
Hey,
him.
at least he's out there. At least he's out there testing his shit before he gets out there.
Well,
Like,
that was kind of the heart to heart we had, and he's smarter than that. So he's I don't like wounding deer. I'd prefer to
He seemed like a pretty
kill.
smart kid.
Yeah, he's smart when it comes to that stuff.
How do you shoot the course? You do good.
He didn't shoot the
he didn't
course.
shoot
His friend
one of
did.
buddy,
His buddy did.
with the mullet.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you
anybody
how
with a mullet, that dude's a killer.
All these young guys are wearing these mullets. I'm like, I'm fucking bald.
I'm an old guy trying to wear them on.
Yeah, well, you can be hip. You're a teacher.
No, but you got a neck warmer going back there,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is good for you.
You get the duck
Dude, they
tail.
brought back the mullets. When can we get Zubas back? That's
Zubas?
all I'm saying.
You guys have mullets with like ducktail things going on. I had a mullet. I look
What's a
like Joe,
ducktail?
I look like Joe Dirt. You guys have curls. It all curls up.
It's
I
all
just look
feathered.
like white trash, and my mom wouldn't cut it.
Feathered like a wood duck's mane.
She's like, "No, you look handsome." I'm like, "I don't look handsome. Getting made fun of. Cut my fucking
Not
hair."
handsome, no.
Handsome.
Well, that's weird. Mom told you, and that laugh tells me something weirder. I'm not sure what the hell's going on.
I'm gonna look over here.
No, what you finally realize
Don't
is
make
what
eye
that term
contact.
actually means. I've never been called handsome before.
I've been called bedroom eyes in front of my wife, I might add.
Bedroom
Oh.
eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We watched
geez.
Star Wars and some girl's like, "Ooh, bedroom eyes," and I was like, what the fuck did she just say? I was like, I don't know.
I think we should find her, honey.
It was code for something you knew, but you didn't want to lead on anymore.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
My daughter has my eyes. It's going to be a fucking problem at some point.
Bedroom-
Got me a lot of interesting remarks in my youth. I'm really concerned about what's going to happen to my daughter with the same eyeballs.
Oh boy.
Very worried as a dad. Very worried. I don't know what to do. I don't know. That's fucking weird, right?
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck
Good
with
luck.
that one. I don't know what else to say.
Good luck.
Buy some
Way to
more
make it
guns-
awkward.
Buy some more guns. Get some more nozzler ammunition.
There you go.
There you go.
You're probably
Get a
good.
shovel. Yeah.
Shovel.
And shit, a
Just
fucking
remember,
shovel.
shooter buck means you lower your standard.
My yard is a hill, so like the hole digging would be pretty easy. I just have to dig in the side a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm already 6 feet deep. Put a little dirt on it. Well, thanks for being our guest tonight. I don't know if you knew what you were
100%
into or if there's something you wanted to do. I don't remember.
I just
how
want to sit and bullshit.
yeah, I don't remember how this came about, but suddenly Tyler's like, "Hey, I know
Oh,
him."
Yeah, so the way that it worked, and 100% our phones are listening to us. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. That's an actual thing. So I
Yeah.
was talking to my buddy Doug, who owns a little company over in Michigan called Soggy Dog, and
Yeah, I've heard of them.
I was telling him that I'm I got these new guys that are coming up. We started kind of a network. I got the Prairie Tales podcast now with my buddy Wes and George, who are living here, and then two of my friends that are fishing guides and tournament guys. They're starting a fishing podcast, and they're like, "Oh, you're kind of doing what the Okayest Hunter is." I was like, "Oh, I don't know those guys." And then, as it turns out, I did know one of them. But like the next day, one of your guys' reels popped up on my feed, and I was like,
Imagine that.
right. And so I think I sent a message. I was like, like, I mean, and just kind of started bullshitting, and then yeah. Anyways, here we are.
Which one do you know on the network?
Well, the one over there with the glasses and the backward hat, he apparently was getting a hold of me a couple years ago, wanted to come up and pheasant hunt in December. And for whatever reason, it didn't end up happening, probably because that was the year that we had a ton of snow and it just wasn't worthwhile.
I think there's more to it than that on my end, but
it could have been. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it was
because he's handsome.
A while. Yeah,
I was just hoping that it wasn't me that canceled, and then like you saw me and you're like, "Oh, we don't want this guy."
Pretty sure it wasn't
Why are you on here
just
to
me.
roast you?
You're fucked.
Son of a
Right.
bitch. Never go with Tyler. No, but for real, you should go with Tyler.
Yeah, well, I think we all need to.
No, Greg's like, "Who's our guest tonight?" And I told him, he's like, "No shit, I know that guy." I was like, "There you go. All right."
I figured
These
when I
guys
came
never
down here,
know. That's like last minute, and they're like, "Do you have a guest?" And I was like, "I don't know. We got going." I'm like, we live. What's that quote from Fast and Furious? We live our lives 1 minute at a mile.
Quarter mile at a
Quarter
time.
mile at a
Oh,
time,
you
right.
son of a bitch!
Jeez.
Don't you mess that one up.
Yeah.
My son knows that one. Don't you mess
I
that
meant
one
to
up.
say that. Yeah.
And then I started looking into your guys' channels and everything else, and the first thing that popped up was, it's your tag, hunt the way you want or whatever. And I took a bunch of shit here several years ago. I didn't start hunting turkeys until 2020, basically because there was nothing else to do. I was like, nah, turkeys, anybody can shoot a turkey. And I went out and I was telling one of my buddies who was hunting with me, we had, I think this is 2022. We had a monster blizzard coming in. Our season here opens up like April 12th. And we had a giant blizzard coming in. Literally, they were forecasting anywhere from 24 to 36 inches of snow. We ended up getting the 36 inches of snow. And then a day later, we got another foot. And then 3 days later, we got another foot. So we ended up with 60 inches of snow in 3, 4 days, 5 days, whatever. And I was like, dude, like, let's go kill a turkey because we're not going to be able to get back out at all. And I was telling them, we had a couple of hens that were like flushing. We spot and stalk turkey hunt. And I was like, God, I'd love to have a Tom come flying over. I would love to shoot a turkey out of the air, like me being the wing shooter that I am. And he's like, dude, it's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
They're
So the last,
gross, right? Like, yeah.
It's a B-52.
right. So the last, we were driving to lunch. We're basically giving up. Like we had a couple of stalks in the morning that didn't pan out. We're driving to lunch and we see 4 toms and 2 hens run across the road ahead of us, quarter mile, whatever. And we watch them. We're hunting in the Badlands, and we watch them go up into this little patch of trees. I mean, maybe as big around as the room that I'm in. It's probably 25 by 25, whatever. And I was like, okay, like we can sneak right down that ridge. They're going to be right there, and we're going to kill turkeys. And that's exactly what we did. When we're walking up, we watched the 2 hens run out. I was like, okay, first bird that I see now, I know it's Tom. Gonna get it. I'm carrying a side-by-side 410. And I was like, I'm shooting that new TSS stuff. This is going to be fun. We walk up, I can hear rustling in the grass, and sure enough, a tom turkey takes off out of the grass, and I drill him out of the air with the 410. I was stoked. I had so much fun. And I got it on my GoPro. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a cool video. I'm going to post to Instagram, whatever. Lit the fuck up for that. Like, I mean, the video ends up with like 2 million views or something like that.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, dude, you don't deserve to shoot a turkey if you don't call it in, and you don't deserve to shoot a turkey if you don't have the decoys and this and that. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I thought it was really fun. Like, it was my
way you wanted to.
And if it's
exactly
legal
right.
means of take, means of take, then
If you can put a stock on a
You didn't
bird
do
like
anything
that
wrong.
and you blast the
That's
bitch,
so
like,
cool.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And like,
You're basically a cross of turkeys.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
Wisconsin version of it.
Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, and and all these people, and that like half of them are telling me that I'm a piece of shit for shooting it out of the air.
Well,
Half
of
the
course
people are telling me I'm a piece of shit for shooting with a 410, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like,
Either
to-
way,
like,
it's all piece of shit. Like,
right.
but
And the whole time I was just like, well, it was my tag, it was legal. I killed the turkey. I spent the last 2 months chasing quail that are the size of a baseball, and I'm shooting them with a 410. You're telling me I can't hit a turkey at 25 yards with a 410? I find that highly doubtable, and I'll send you guys a video. The fucking bird didn't flinch. I mean, it was dead. And it was super cool, and I was super happy. And then I was like, you know what? And I just kind of got that same mentality that you guys have, where it's like, it was my tag. I had fun. I got to do it the way that I wanted to do it. Shut the hell up. Go sit in your heated blind over your corn feeder and shoot turkeys there. I don't give a shit. I'm not judging you.
Right.
Don't judge me. But I messaged you guys a video. You guys might like if that thing folded up like a cheap lawn chair.
That's awesome.
that's cool, man. Good for
They
you.
do fold nice. I actually kind of miss
Yeah.
how they fold because now you have these fucking weird chairs that have to go in bags, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. There's a button.
Right?
I can't find it. Grinds my gears.
Right? Like, has anybody recently tried to put a tent back in the bag that it comes in?
Mm.
They don't fit.
Let me tell you about my new tent.
Your pants tent?
It's basically yes.
I got a tent in my pants.
Jesus, Greg.
That's-
I love lamp.
My pants too tight for those kind of tents. It's a hub and spoke tent. It's like a fucking shanty.
How
but
easy
a
is it to
tent.
put away though?
Well,
You
It's like
back
a Jack
that
in the
thing up and
Box,
get-
right?
oh my
Ta-da!
God.
It's there.
Anyway.
You can't put it away.
Not gonna talk about my tent anymore.
I'd like to hear more.
It's just where it went, man.
I'm excited to be living in a 2024 era where I take my kids camping, and I pop up the tent in like, I'm not kidding, 6
Yeah.
seconds. It's done.
Yeah, I got
It's
one of those too. It's awesome.
You're doing shanties, like the shanties are just like
Mhm.
the hub, and like it's got all the.
Yep.
That was
Mhm.
the. And I was like, holy shit! Someone did it. Someone invented the fucking tent that I don't have to feed poles through and do all this shit.
But can you get it back in the bag? Because if you can, you're a wizard.
It was just as easy. It was just as easy to get it back in the bag. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
That's unbelievable.
because I did a test run of the driveway.
Must
I
have
was
been a
like,
mistake.
Must
dude,
have been.
I
Or they made
got
the bag too big. That's what it
It's
was.
fantastic. I don't even know what brand it is. I did some research on Amazon for a while before I pulled the trigger on this thing, and
I wonder if we got the same damn tent. I can't like. Is it like light colored and green on the bottom?
Probably look at my Amazon history and tell you what it's called right
Dude.
now.
Like I'm trying to remember what the heck what brand mine is, but it's awesome. I can't get it back in the bag, but it's awesome.
No, but I got mine back in the bag. Let
You
me
just
tell you.
throw some tie-downs around
Yeah,
there.
some
you're
bungee
good.
cords
You're
around it.
good.
Good enough.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. The Core brand.
That's it. That's
Well,
exactly what I got. Yeah, core equipment.
Tyler called it.
Instant
Dude.
cabin
Webster,
tents.
Tyler Webster called it.
Dude, it's
Dude,
fucking
there it
great.
is.
I got mine
It's
back
awesome.
in the bag, though. I don't know.
It's awesome. Yeah, like mine's got mine's big enough for I got a queen size blow up Serta air mattress that I put in there, and I can put dog kennels in there and everything.
No, this is it's a large tent because I got lots of kids. So like it works out. It worked.
Well,
out
leave
cool.
that woman alone so you can hunt more, would you?
She's the one pushing me for all the babies. She wants 4, and she might win that battle. Actually,
Well, eventually she will.
yeah. I don't know. To talk about midnight rape session again, like
Oh boy,
Oh, Jesus.
it's hard to rape the willing, as somebody once told me. I guess.
yeah. Well, it's a pea boner. It's different. Someone's got to chop.
I feel like as a mandatory reporter, I should stop listening. I have to report this.
Fun story with my uncle. My uncle, we were at deer camp.
How do you make
From a P-borner to a mandatory.
No, we're in this.
Lord help us.
Oh, we're in
This is
trouble. We're
Father,
in
Son,
trouble.
Okay,
Holy
okay.
Ghost.
We're all bursting into flames after
This
this.
motel has since been bulldozed to the ground. It's no longer
For good
there.
reason.
But they're like,
All
oh,
thanks to the
one of the things
P-boner.
they would promote was like, oh, we have a pizza oven, but you have to come to the front office to cook your pizzas. So we were like, fuck yeah, they got a pizza oven. So we're like, where is it? It's not there. You go in the front office. Where's the you got a pizza oven? Oh yeah, it's back here. You got to cook your pizzas in here. Oh, okay. That's what we're dealing with. All right, sounds good. Gets cold. It gets like really hot in the room one night. My buddy Mike's like, it's really hot in here. My dad goes, oh yeah? opens the fucking door to the world and just fucking flings it open back in his tidy whities again, per usual. And Mike's like, I mean, you could have turned the heat down, Chuck, but I guess opening the door works. Remember, it's
I'll
cold.
never understand old dude self-confidence. Has anybody been in like a
I don't
YMCA
I don't
locker
think
room?
it's self-confidence. It's old man. I
Oh,
don't give a shit
yeah.
no
The
more.
why in the
So
locker room.
What
Tyler just said
we
is
wake
the
up in
thing,
the
though.
morning. There's two queen beds in this motel room, and we wake up to my uncle going, "Holy shit!" And we're like, "Oh shit, what's going on? What's going on?" I'm not gonna say his name, okay? We have lots of my dad's last of 9 kids. There's a lot of them, so good luck guessing which uncle it is. And he's like, "I got a fucking pee boner. I haven't had one of these in years. Don't tell my wife."
Don't tell
And me
my
and my
wife.
buddy are like, "The fuck's going on in here?" First, the door gets swung open in the middle of the night. Now this, and I got to cook my pizza down the fucking driveway. Like,
It must have been good pizza if it was the first pee boner he'd had in a while.
No doubt.
Dude, I don't know where old dudes get their self-confidence. I was in the YMCA locker room in Minot, North Dakota 2 winters ago during the NFC Championship game, football weekend. There are 3 old dudes that are in their 70s naked on a sofa watching the fucking football game in the locker room. And I was like,
I feel like balls on furniture.
I'm never sitting in that leather seat
Leather.
ever again.
No.
Like,
Why is there a
dude,
leather in the locker room in
My
the first
4-year-old's
place?
naked. I'm like,
why
dude,
are people naked sitting on it in the locker room watching
there's that
TV?
too.
Put on goddamn clothes.
I mean, just a millimeter of cotton cloth between you and the rest of the world goes a long way.
yeah.
A long way. A
Long
long way. Jeez, you don't have to make it weird, dudes. Like, come on. I
Was
just
that
want to
movie,
get my sauna and I want to go to the bar. Come on.
The movie with Gosling and Steve
Carell.
Carell, Crazy Stupid
Crazy
Love.
Yes.
Is this when you got a problem with a shong in your face? Well, if you don't, we got a different problem.
Every 70-year-old dude ever in a locker room right there.
Yeah. And we'll end it on that note. Thanks for being
That's a
our
good note to end on. Yeah.
That was a good end. Funny as hell.
We'll end the live broadcast. Can you tell folks where to find you, how to find you, all that stuff? That'd be great.
I'm on YouTube and Instagram at Birds, Booze, and Buds Podcast. It just pretty much everywhere. Don't bother sending me a message or a friend request on Facebook because I've been maxed out at the 5,000 friend limit forever, and I'm not deleting somebody for you unless I know you.
Nice.
I'm a little creepy on Facebook. I have more friend requests I know what to do with, and I don't know what to do with them.
Delete them.
Like,
Delete
Where do they come from?
I don't know you people.
Where do they come from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. I'm like, I have a family. This is my personal account. Like, I'm not sure what to do here anymore. Anyway,
Yep.
what does the bud stand for? Is there like a bird term? I don't know.
Everybody thinks it stands for weed, which I never thought about when I started the podcast 7 years ago. It stands for friends. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
buds.
buddies.
I'm going to hang out with my buds. Yes.
No, yeah, I was
Yep.
thinking marijuana.
Yeah, everybody does, and I never thought about it. So I started it as a Western wing shooter podcast, and I was like, that just sounds too professional, and that's not me at all.
Mm.
And I was like, so I had a
Marijuana in here.
right. So I had a Facebook, right. I had a Facebook page with all the people that I hunted with, and we just called it the Birds, Booze, and Buds Facebook group. And I was like, it's a good name for a podcast, whatever. Now I kind of wish I would have stuck with the Western Wing Shooter, but
Yeah, whatever.
Hindsight's 2020.
it's probably cost me sponsorship money over the years, but hey, it's me. So
Nike started off as Blue Ribbon Sports, so like, they didn't mean Nike. Phil Knight wanted something else. He wanted Dimension 6 or some shit. So what I'm saying is, you have a good product because the name only matters as much as you have a good product behind it. So
that's right. That's right.
Well, cool. Thanks for being our guest, like I said. And we'll end the live broadcast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I think we have some guests on the calendar for a change here. Let me just take a look real quick before I let you go here and see what we have. Oh, wow, that's fun. So September 10th. When is that? Is that next week?
That's next week.
Mm-hmm.
Jace Martinetto is our guest. I think
What?
him and the Jake Break Hollow guys are going to fly into town for that one to be in studio. So
What?
maybe you guys can kind of figure out who wants to be here, because it's Jace and I'm forgetting the name.
Does Jake break it? I refer to shooting a Jake turkey as putting the Jake brakes on it. Is that what they're referring to? Because that's awesome.
No, that's kind of what I refer
That's
to it
literally
also.
what that sticker, is
right there.
referring to also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up here soon. I'm like having my brain is giving up on me for it's actually Tuesday today for those that didn't know. Reminder, it's not Monday. I still think it's
Podcast day.
Mondays are brutal.
And then after that, so what does that bring us to September 17th? We have Ryan Shoots. Am I saying that right on the podcast? With Bear Archery.
Okay.
So that should be a good one too. We're gonna do some product stuff with Bear to talk about like how they develop products and what that'll looks like. So that should be pretty interesting. And we have another bear archery one, more about like the history of bear archery and the legacy of bear archery and all that stuff, which is good. I'm still trying to find Brian. Jesus, Eric. Brian with Break Hollow, the main guy who I talk with on a regular basis. My brain is just not working. So they're going to fly in. They'll be here next Tuesday. So good reminder for me and to tell my wife. Because
someone's staying at your house.
no,
Hey, I'm getting drunk on Tuesday again.
Someone is going to be staying at your house. Maybe
she's
multiple
always like,
people.
so who's coming? I was like, oh. She's like, you don't know? You don't know who's coming? Is it just Greg and Derek? Well, I'm not cleaning all the way. If someone knew,
It does my heart good to know that I'm not the only person who's not organized when it comes to this stuff at all. Like I get
You are
text,
not the only person.
No, I
That's
mean,
why
honestly,
I get text messages all the time being like, "Hey, I'll be at your house later today." I'm like,
who is
"Really?
this?
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have
All
your
right.
number program. Who am I talking to? We talked yesterday.
yeah."
we literally just talked yesterday.
Jake from State Farm. Anyway, no. So yeah, so we have, and then I'm out at the end of the month. So I'm gonna have to like probably run a rerun or pre-record or do something because we're taking the kids to Disney.
I
God
think
bless
I
you.
think a pre-record on what we're seeing because we'll be a weekend of the season by then,
Oh, that's a
right?
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cell cams are running hot.
Yeah, and mine look completely like crap, but I noticed a big shift in deer
Did you
movement.
put them where the deer are going to be or where the deer are?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put they are where the deer are going to be with the way things are right now.
Derek was like just hanging.
I don't have
inside.
anything on an oak flat, and I should have something on an oak flat right now if I'm looking for one coming to the food.
I saw acorns on the ground
Mhm.
and rubs in the bedding
Mhm.
today.
Okay, yeah, you were out.
I
You did a
hung 2
walk today.
cameras today.
You came in
Cool.
out of breath. So
And I needed water. I picked burrs off my pants the whole way to your
Yeah,
house.
still-
good stuff. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. So yeah, tune in next week. The Jake Break Holler guys are good dudes. You could check them out. I think they're on the Pursuit channel. They have an actual show, like a real one,
Mhm.
kind of like ours, but a little bit more legit.
Probably more legit. Probably a lot more legit.
more
Yeah,
legit.
they have something called Money.
And they also shoot deer.
Yeah,
There's that too.
And then the Bear one will be following up after that, which will be cool because Bear has been a partner of ours for a couple of years in terms of like just giving us stuff to give away at Foam Fest. But this year they've been like an official partner of the show, hence this fancy sign over here. And I think that'll be their first time on the show. So
Sweet.
yeah, good times. All right, we'll end the live broadcast and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Tyler.
See you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet.